Hello and welcome to the Tongue of the Trees Recipe Hub. This is Frankincense and this is a bath blend for someone who has anxiety. Between you and I, this is take number 6 because we keep having flies break out in here. I dread to think what today is going to be like. So if you hear buzzing, I am sorry. Now this is a blend that I made recently for somebody at school who is one of my patients who is really struggling with the lockdown. Really struggling to cope with the anxiety. She's got quite a lot of underlying health conditions, not least one to do with her lymphatic system, so she's very worried about how that will affect her when and if she catches the illness. But her overarching symptom at the moment was anxiety, and I felt the most important thing to do was to get her calm. So this is a blend that I've used for her. So the base we're using is Epsom salts. Very, very simple, easy to get hold of. And those of you who know me well know that I am a big ambassador for the power of magnesium. Magnesium is required in over 300 bodily processes. So if you are deficient, and around about 95% of us are, then nothing works properly. So supplementation with magnesium is extremely powerful indeed. So magnesium is best absorbed through the skin rather than orally, although I have to tell you that my youngest Dexter is congenitally deficient in magnesium, so he has an oral supplementation as well as Epsom salts. If you're wondering if you are magnesium deficient, as I say, a lot of us are, because naturally it forms mainly in fruit. It's in nuts and green leaf vegetables as well, but mainly if you think of fruit, it evolves in an apple as it grows ripe on the tree. But now we live in an environment where we have to pick the fruit early to ship it to whatever part of the world it's got to go. It's got to sit there and ripen on your windowsill for so that it doesn't spoil before everybody gets a chance to eat it. And what that is completely a sacrifice to magnesium. Doesn't have time to evolve it any longer. So I would always recommend supplementation with magnesium. Epsom salts are a fantastic way to do that. Now I'm a big believer that as long as you're using sensible oils, they are safe to put in the bath. But modern usage says that you should dilute the oils into something before you put it into the bath. So just to do this, we are going to agree. I don't really agree. I really agree. I just put them in, and they're quite right. Of course, they float on the top of the bath, but they're so dilute in the film. You go into the water, and your skin picks them up, and of course, then you know if you're putting 5 drops in something like 200 litres of water, that's. I wouldn't, however, put something in like citrus or lemon in the bath is a bad plan. I've done it once. I worked out what a bad plan it was. And likewise, even if I was still diluting it into carrier oil, I still wouldn't put it in the bath. So I like to use a bit of milk powder in my baths. A, because it blends very well with the Epsom salts, but B, because I feel like Cleopatra lounging in my asp milk. So what's great is if we can mix the essential oils into a slight carrier, mix them into the milk powder, mix the milk powder into the Epsom salts. It seems like a bit of a ball ache, but actually it feels really like you're doing alchemy as you keep moving the carriers along. I do like doing this. So I haven't put a carrier into the slide, I've noticed, because Gaggler will have already have done the slides. So I'm going to say any carrier will do, and you only need around about a teaspoon. And so what's in the kitchen closest to me, my kitchen's next to my bathroom, is always olive oil. So we're going to go for frankincense, German chamomile, yarrow. and this was absolutely lovely for my lady. I love the blue oils. Blue oils are so, they're like liquid anaesthetic, and they take the feeling away. So in terms of if you've got a really painful something on the skin, liquid anaesthetic. Toothache, liquid anaesthetic. But anxiety, overwhelming fear, blue oils take the pain away. So we're going 4 drops of German chamomile. You know my feelings about chamomile. Either whether it's German chamomile or Roman chamomile, they both say release, let it go. German chamomile's actual keyword is soothe, just soothe. Yarrow is reconciliation. Probably a better word we should have used is acceptance. The Latin name Achille millefolium tells us a lot about how powerful this particular plant is. Millefolium, 1,000 leaves, that beautiful feather leaf that we can find everywhere we look in the grass by the verges. I always think it's fascinating to watch how it established itself, and how it would have been used by the ancient Greeks, by the Romans. Always use their yarrow to heal. Very good styptic, stops things bleeding. But the Achilles, he was the great Titan who was dipped in the river Styx to protect him, to make him immortal. But where his mum held him on his heel when she dipped him in the river Styx, none of the magical water touched him, so that was his Achilles heel, his weakness. Anxiety we tend to be anxious about lots of different things, but there's usually one trigger. My trigger, travelling. Being away from home, without a shadow of doubt, every time. So if there's a weakness that sort of festers underneath the skin, festering, yarrow. Yarrow helps with festering all the time. So does German chamomile. Release and let it go. Frankincense, of course, is our main oil. Safeguard, how it slows the breath. Returns elasticity. We get tense, don't we, when we're anxious. Oh, that's so nice. It's so cold in here this morning. Just I might just stay here like this. But it reduces this feeling of in the bath, everything lets go. Slows the breath, opens the airways, lets the oxygen go into the lungs. Everything calming, becoming more meditative. It's very difficult to be meditative and anxious at the same time. Meditation moves those away, so we get this beautiful slow brain waves that pervade over the anxiety. Beautiful, beautiful. So 25 grams or an ounce of Epsom salts. Mix it with a teaspoon of dried milk powder, 4 drops each of frankincense, German chamomile and yarrow. So my process would be, get your essential oils ready. Just a teaspoon of carrier. So you can do it in a spoon, or you can do it in a bowl. Do it in a bowl. Whack in the carrier, mix in your essential oils. 4 drops of frankincense, 4 drops of German chamomile, 4 drops of yarrow. Yarrow's going to take longer, it's thicker. Give it a swirl. I haven't got a bowl, I should show you. This is my Monada tea, in case you're worrying. I don't know if you can read that. It says, please wait, 87% loaded, sarcasm loading. I wonder why I was given that cup for a present. When you've got your bowl of oil, just kind of tip it a bit like that. Tip it and focus your intention. I'm going to be calmer. This is going to make me calmer. This is make my friend calmer, what have you. Pour that love into it, right? That applies to every one of your blending techniques. No matter how good your essential oils are and which distributor you got them from, if you're not pouring in that intention, that love, no good. No good. It's that mindset. that love, that pure energy that you put into it that makes it a magical thing. So you've put your essential oils into your carrier. Now mix your milk powder in, only a teaspoon, bit more if you want to. Get that lovely rich, it's like, oh, in America you won't know what this is, it's like Guernsey milk, so thick, so creamy, the stuff you're really not allowed to have. Mix it round, and then just add your Epsom salts, mix them round again, and you have a horrible kind of paste, but it all just goes whoop when it goes into the warm water. Disturb it a bit. The more you disturb the water, the more you'll break up the essential oils, and of course the milk will dissipate it right the way through. And you can lie there like a non-anxious Cleopatra saying, I will overtake Rome. She was Greek, so she didn't sound like that, but never mind. So, contraindications. Not suitable for use in the first 16 weeks of pregnancy. Otherwise, knock yourself out in this bath. I recommend half an hour to get completely stoned, and boy will you sleep. Happy relaxation.